So I'm going downhill in this cave, and I don't want to be facing downhill. I put my camera back there because I believe I can turn around in this spot. But in order to turn around, I got to kick my hips back behind me, and I've got to move this part of my body this direction and this part of my body backwards. And so I've got this little hole here where I can move I've been able to lift up. And I move my hips sideways here. I gotta drop into this hole. There we go. It's full of spiders, but you can see that now my hips are behind me. Man, I'm caught on everything. And once I'm turned around like a little pod, woo! Oh, that's good stuff. I can get my head upright and regain my bearings. Oh my goodness. And start making my way back towards the front of the cave, which is a lot easier. Now I could back up through this way, but nobody wants to back up. That's not fun. Also, I can feel that my shirt is no longer with us. So I'm gonna live through this, but old Red is not gonna live through this. Pick and pull, pick and pull. I can feel that it's got holes in it. I can feel my body bearing down in pain. So Jacob and I are out here in the fields of the fatherless. We are beneath the shadow of the volcanic mountain. There is many square miles here of these lava fields that you can see they're lush and mossy. This moss is super soft. You can make a bed and sleep here, except it's super wet today. And we are finding holes all over these lava fields, small holes, because these holes often lead to major cave networks. And there's two things that they try to accomplish with these cave networks. Is one, they try to find new large caves. And secondly, they try to connect small caves with other small caves. If they can find ways through the lava, they can link and make major cave networks, or as we call them, cave systems. Well, this just sucks. And I'm gonna have to move in there a ways, Jacob, before you can come in.
Roger that.
You know, otherwise...
Anything you drop, I can just grab and hand it to you.
Yeah.
So just don't mind grabbing it. It's like, just leave it there for me.
And you have to be mindful that, like if I freak out, can you back out? Also, it's downhill.
Sure.
Your job is to videotape me. My job is to videotape Jacob, and I'll have you come in once I'm in the tube a ways.
Holy cow, it just looks like you're against a wall, it's so tight.
Well, it is tight.
I can't even see the tube.
It is tight, and I don't know if this is gonna work with this sweater, because
it's spiky cakes.
Well, it's gonna come off.
The loofah grabber.
I'm just gonna take it off. Things to do in a cave.
Cave strip club, come today.
Also, it's hard to breathe in here.
Well,
how's it look?
That smell is not that smelly. Like a good smell.
Oh, so it's so tight. I've got no helmet on, and I've got no cave clothes.
However, I prefer to use a helmet because I don't like spiders falling down my neck.
Yeah, that's the light. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't want you coming in here until I can prevent myself from panicking, from being trapped by you.
I can scoot back really fast.
Well, it's downhill, and this bump right here is significant. Once you get around this corner, it's not as bad, in the sense that the really awkwardness of it. This is the awkwardness, that little lava pinch. It's an unmapped cave, and I'm backing in feet first, so if something bites my legs, we'll know something lives here. But I gotta do this because I'd like to film Jacob coming down, so I'll turn this and you'll be able to see in just a second. Here comes Jacob. Oh yeah, this is much better with the open headlamp. Let me back up so I can get you coming around. I'm gonna get down in the hole, okay? So I can do a lot of zoom. Yeah, you can go to the left here also.
When entering a cave, you want to take a cautioned observant approach, not hastily rushing into an environment which you know nothing about. You can see that Jacob takes observation before he rushes into the entrance.
But I'm like 50 feet down here. Once you're in, you'll be fine with your hoodie. And your helmet, I think. This is a long tunnel. Uh-huh. It's also down slope. So Jacob is against gravity by quite a bit more than it looks. This is a good 20-degree angle.
Also of note, Jacob and I are facing each other. As I back into the cave, Jacob comes head first.
A lot more comfortable now that I'm in. Just kidding. It smells so much like freaking rat poop and dingy. Where does that way go?
Jacob, keep getting distracted. Careful with the camera.
Okay.
Yep. You can keep it to the side so I can see your face. Elbow pads are necessary, huh? Let's talk about that floor. How does that feel?
Righteous.
Keep coming and talking.
The floor is horrible and very squishy.
So narrate. How do you keep calm when you get in a tight spot like this and move the camera out of your
I keep
face?
calm by breathing slowly. I keep myself from panicking by breathing slowly and knowing that there's nothing to panic about because, yeah, you're in a tight spot, but what's the worst that could happen? You get stuck, yeah, but you can get unstuck the same way you got stuck. There's no reason to be scared when there's no. My knee pad's stuck.
Yep.
I can't
I had to rip mine off.
breathe.
Flipping. Oh, that one's tight. Ooh, little leg cramp right there. That's good. Oh, that leg's tight. But every time I try to turn, my body kind of shifts downhill. So it's easy to do if you can just rip your clothes. But okay, I'm pretty much 3/4 of the way turned. And once I'm turned upright, then that's turning. And now I'm facing uphill. Even though that was hard, this will make going that direction way easier. And I don't have much of a shirt left because it's been shredded. So I'm basically without clothes, covered in spiders, and Jacob is in front of me in the passage jamming it up. And I just thought, you know what would be nice? A swift trip home. I hate when they fall off the ceiling. The spiders. There's a pit down there that you could turn around. Well, they start falling off the ceilings and running all fast. And I just thought, I don't need this in my life.
Harvestman spiders have what is called a pacemaker in each of its legs that creates a heartbeat for his heart, and that pacemaker will cause our legs to fidget and twitch even after they fall off. The question is often asked, what would you do if you're going down a tight passage and someone was coming at you from the other direction? And while this is probably never going to occur, that is what is occurring here intentionally. Jacob and I are facing each other so that we can film each other. I backed into the passage and he went head in. So I have to back up while he's moving forward. Then I turn around, we reverse it. Now he is backing out of the cave and I am coming forward. So each person who's in a cave like this has to learn how to go backwards. Jacob's moving backwards right now, uphill. His feet are at the high end. And here, Jacob finally finds a spot with room enough to turn around so he can head out the cave face first.
I found it.
So if you get wedged in like that, and then let's say you get stuck and you die folded up.
All the way to go, right?
The worst. You get out and then you film me, come out. Let's go, chip chop.
Crap, this is so tight.
It is tight right through there, huh?
What you may observe is that it appears that Jacob has plenty of room to move around, but what you can't know is that there is no other place to go. There is only forward or backwards. So even though sometimes you can move up on your knees a little bit, he doesn't have knee pads on. So you're really, all of your resources are allocated to one small area, and this, whether you have space to move or not, makes the brain do really interesting things.
Woo! Do you want to take this camera? I know you got two. So when I get out and get me coming out of the cave, and I'll videotape you videotaping me. This is what we're doing now. This is our life now.
And here I come out of the cave while Jacob is recording. He's doing a much better job on the camera. And there is Jacob moving like the Steadicam man that he is.
My shirt's shredded.
Yeah.
And Jacob followed me. He was in front of me, blocking the passage, so we were both trying to get through there. So Jacob had to back up backwards, so it was harder for him. But I'm fat, so I got pretty scraped up. And my belly's not as bad as it was the other day.
Your shirt's shredded just like you.
Oh, thank you. Then comes the thrilling part, sitting down and sketching out, making a little preliminary map. If the cave is big enough, then you might come back later, or maybe your first time through. I have a little laser pointer, and there's better ones than this. This is pretty cheap, but what it allows is for me to, it allows me to get real distances, how long passages are, and there are people that are much better at this than I am that create very detailed, very accurate maps. Put your foot back down in. Put your foot back down in. I'm just trying to get some decent pictures, that's all. Go, can you lift them off the ground a little? Both of them? I don't know if that hurts your knees. There you go, good, good. Okay.